Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Barmy podcast, number 59. This evening, I am very pleased to be joined by Iain and Zoe. Iain, how you doing?
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Deborah, yourself?
Oh, tremendous. Zoe, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Great to have you both with me. This evening, we are going to look back at the Bristol game, and we're going to look ahead to our last league game of the season. It feels like it's been going on forever now, doesn't it? So, Bristol, I've got to ask the question, did either of you actually see the whole match? I know neither of you were in the watch-along, and you may well have made the best decision if you were elsewhere. Iain, you were having the day out with family.
Yep.
You've seen the highlights, correct?
Yeah, as I said, I think they put up for 2 minutes and 39 seconds of the extended highlights on the FA player. That's what I watched.
That's as good as it gets. Zoe, have you sat through any more than Iain?
Yeah, I watched the whole match live until my internet got a little bit shaky. It cut off just before the goal, so I missed the best.
You missed the only bit worth watching. Okay, right, we'll come back to that. Good evening, Mark, Karen and John. Discussion during the watch-along that we were having was poor performance. Fortunate that Bristol didn't take their chances. You could tell why Bristol were where they are in the league. But then the flip side of that is we ground out a win. And I know it's a conversation that Mark was having on the podcast last week. And I know Anthony picked up on it during our watch along when he said points over performance. Iain, I made the point that result, if we could have only managed it against Brighton, against Reading, our season would have been very different. Are we being snippy? I asked this question when we've had a bad performance but a good result. Do we just have to say, "Hey, let's take it. We won"?
Yeah, I'm always a one for points on the board over performance. Sometimes, even if you look back in the men, we sometimes in that treble 99 season, sometimes we were lucky to scrape some wins. I still think we should have, we could have easily been knocked out in the FA Cup semi-final that year if it wasn't for Peter Schmeichel saving the penalty. So I will always take points on the board over performance. But the problem is, though, if you keep getting poor performances, then that starts becoming an issue because eventually your luck will run out. And as we've seen this season, we've not always had that luck. As you said, Reading and games like that, we should have won. We took nothing from.
Yeah. Zoe, just before I ask you, John Fry said that he watched the whole game again as punishment, see where we went wrong. John, if you want to tell us what that is in about 4 or 5 words, we'd love to hear it. Good evening, Vincent. Vincent lets us know that the game against Liverpool that the men have got to have played, because obviously it didn't get played on Sunday, has been scheduled for the 13th of May. And the Leicester game has been pulled forward to the Tuesday. So we were going to have a podcast next Tuesday. We're now leaving it as it is because that's shifted in this in the last sort of hour or so it's been announced. Namrata, very good evening. Hope you're keeping safe and well. Lovely to have you with us. Yeah, Karen makes the point here. Our way to win on Sunday was to bring on Jackie. It's a worry how poor our midfield is without her. Yeah, she definitely seemed to make a difference, just added a bit of energy. Good evening, Fiona. Mark makes the point that I've always said, it's the mark of a championship winning team. And I think Fergie's always said this, to win when you're not playing well. Shows a good team that we can play badly and grind out a result. Absolutely. John Fry, Zoe, I will come to you in a minute. We were outthought by City. Preparations and tactics were better than ours. Okay. We didn't seem to turn up, didn't want to play. Did seem at times as if we were complacent. And Fiona says, absolutely. Yeah. First touch was shocking on Sunday. Zoe, follow that. Your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always agree. Points over performance for me. I think it's you actually, Debs, that said in the past if you win every game by 1-0, you're still going to win the league, aren't you? So I'd take that. But at the same time, putting in those performances week in, week out is how you get points, really. So it's a bit chicken and egg, really. And United, we've had it with the men where they've played really exciting football and it's been a thrill to watch. And then other times the tactics, and yeah, we're getting the points, but it's just boring. And the difference for me was like on Monday night. My mum's a big West Ham fan, and I watched the game, and I watched the men's game on Monday night, and it was thrilling. It was nerve-wracking because it was end-to-end stuff, but that was football to me. And I wish sometimes that we play a little bit like that, and we know we can do it. We've seen it before. We've seen those thrilling games from our women, but recently it's been a struggle, and like you say, it's been a poor performance, and we've dropped points. So it was good just to get the points on the board on Sunday, but it's a bit too little too late. And I want to see a bit more fight from them and a bit more excitement in the playing.
Yeah, I think we'd all love to see that. Something akin to what we had against Spurs, who are, by the way, they're losing 2-0 to Tottenham at the moment. They're losing 2-0 to Chelsea at the moment, which, sorry, I just sorted, yeah. All of which means, Sang will probably appear in the comments in about 15 minutes, hopefully. All of which means that in terms of the Super League, Chelsea will go into the final day with a 2-point cushion over City. Yeah. Just thought I'd tell you that before somebody says something about Chelsea. John Fry makes the point. In his opinion, Kristen Press is getting better each game recently. I think we'd all have to agree. She's getting more involved, and somebody that will definitely agree that Kristen's playing better. Karen, a very good afternoon to you. Fiona makes the point here, and this is something I want to look at in terms of we drop our standards to the opposition that we're playing. And I kind of want to touch on the lack of consistency and whether that's part of the fact that we have a younger, slightly inexperienced squad. I'll come on to that in a moment. Namrata says, it's been a tiring season. Don't mind wrapping it up with 3 points each game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Considering that patch we had around the turn of the year, definitely. And Mark agrees with John that Kristen's got better every game she's played this calendar year. Definitely. Okay, so Iain, Fiona mentions something that we talked about in watch-alongs, in socials, that we seem to have this ability to drop our level against the weaker, poorer teams. Sometimes we raise our level against the better teams. Second half against City at home, for example. But we've dropped our level. We've never really, take out the Tottenham game last week, we've never gone out and dominated a team perhaps the way we should have done. Even that result against Bristol earlier in the season at Lee, there's a couple of late goals that flatter that result, flatter that scoreline. Is this part and parcel of an inexperienced squad, a squad that's also been dealing with a pandemic? I know everybody's been dealing with a pandemic, but things have been thrown together a lot this season. Or is there something slightly more worrying at play here?
If we go back to the championship season, there was only one game where I can really say that our level dropped, and that was that defeat at Durham. Otherwise, we were pretty much on it for the most of that championship season. You know, we did score plenty of goals. You know, we did keep. At the end of the day, a bad performance, but we still scored 2, 3, 4 goals. Whereas, as you say, you look at this season. Yes, the majority of the squad is the same. There are a few additions. You know, Jackie's new, obviously compared to the Champions season. Obviously, Tobin, Kristen, Jane Ross, and Honor. But the rest of that, and Lucy. But then the rest of that squad is pretty much what we had in the championship. So they had the mentality to keep their foot down and keep going in the championship. I don't know why that hasn't transferred to the WSL. To me, it's worrying because we should be dominating. No disrespect to Bristol, no disrespect to West Ham. Look at the score lines they have had this season against them. You know, West Ham have conceded 7, Bristol have conceded 9. Yet we can only, we go down there on a, it looked like a beautiful afternoon down in Bath for that game, where I was not too far away. Beautiful day, calm. To only score one, yeah, there's something worrying on that, if I'm honest.
And an own goal at that. Zoe, I'll come to you in a moment. There's some comments I just want to keep up with. John Fry makes the point, again, this is what we've been saying. It's our first full season in the WSL, and we've looked very tired recently with the depleted squad. Okay. Is that a question of we've lost players, or is that a training issue? Karen agrees with you, John, that Kristen's settling in with the team, getting better each game. She's figured out her teammates and their play. Probably also an element of her getting used to the league. John Neville makes the point that it seems there's a bit of complacency creeping in. That worries me because we've got some players whose contracts are up at the end of this season. They're playing for their futures with Manchester United. I'd like to think they were putting in performances to justify new deals. Sean makes the point, we struggle when teams play the high press on us. Definitely. Yeah, maybe some players are just not good enough to step up to the WSL. Yeah, okay. Well, we've had to give a lot of these players from the Championship team a chance. Maybe there's a few of them that we're moving on this summer. And Mark gives me a two-part comment. We are missing a striker who, and he says, I don't know what the who is. Mark, give me the rest of that. Unfortunately, thinks some of the squad will be going in the summer. I think this is a conversation we've often had, that there needs to be wholesale changes, but you can't just jack in 10 players and get 10 new players to replace them. Do I think that's what we need? Yeah, probably. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No. I think we're looking at half a dozen.
I'm thinking 3 or 4.
Okay, I'm being more adventurous. Mark says we're missing a striker who will score 10 plus goals a season. I know we've looked at Alessia Russo. Had she been fit? Had Tobin stayed fit? Leah Galton was scoring goals. Yeah, I think we've got the players, or had the players this year. We just didn't keep them fit. Namrata comes back to my point about playing for contracts. If this is how they play to find possible new clubs, the future doesn't look bright. Yeah. Zoe, training issue, tiredness, injuries, what are we putting it down to?
A combination of them all, I guess. And yeah, big one is that complacency. And I think in terms of transfers, I think we're going to be all very disappointed, because what I can see happening is us losing all of our best players and having to replace them. And so these ones that are some of the ones from the Championship season that we would like to get rid of, we've got other places that need filling, and they'll end up just sort of staying. I could be wrong, but that's what I see happening, because the rumours are that we're losing a lot of our top class players, and so can you really get rid of the others that are willing to stay when you're too busy trying to sort out 5 replacements or whatever for those other players? I don't know. That's what worries me though. But yeah, I think we have got. I think a lot of our players who played in the Championship, they were too good for the Championship. They showed that. But I think some of them are, we were 4th last season, going to be 4th again this season. I think actually they'd be better suited to sort of 7th or 8th in the league. And there's just a core group of players that are showing that quality and have carried the team a lot. And I think towards the end of the season, like you say, a lot of those core players have got injured, and it has massively affected us, not just on the pitch, having them, dominating possession or scoring for us, but I think it does give the other players who are fit a little bit of complacency, because they know they're going to get the game because there's nobody else to play. So yeah, I think it has an effect, in a big way, injury. And I never like just blaming injury, but this season could have been so much different to how it turned out, is how I see it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, certainly the rumours at the moment, and whatever stock you put into rumours, they're not good. Namrata picks up on when I said Russo we're hoping for. She was injury prone even in college. We need another striker. Then she says LJ, Tobin and Press will leave. That's the rumour. That's what's going around at the moment. We'll see. John Fry, yeah, really good point. This is going to be Casey's hardest and toughest summer as a coach. It could make or break her as our coach and us as a team if she gets it wrong. But it's what she's allowed to do. Mm-hmm. I think as much as, yes, this could make or break Casey. Last summer, she admitted she didn't get to do the deal she wanted because of COVID. She couldn't meet face-to-face with a lot of players. If the budget's tight, which we've been told, we don't have the budget of the top three. If that's the case, if we're losing our quality players, we can't then get rid of our squad players. What next? Fiona goes on to say, Zoe, pulling no punches tonight. I know Iain's quaking because Iain is still quaking after when he knew you were on this. He had flashbacks to the New Year show and the mic drop moment. So, but then Fiona just go on to say, we all know Casey will surprise us, and I'm going to say one name. I know it's not going to be possible. We've obviously got different rules with visas, but Honor. No, but Nat, if you're on, she'll jump in and say she knew. When Honor was signed, none of us had an idea what she was going to be like. And I think she has been the biggest surprise of the season in a good way. Mm-hmm. So Namrata's saying it, and I think we all agree. She backs Casey this summer. Casey's got my backing. I trust her. But she's got to do some business. If we're losing players, let's see who's coming in. Iain, are you worried about the transfer market?
Slightly, but now, the thing is that we do have a friend now in the role of football director for the club, because John has moved into that role, who was very much supportive of Casey and building the team to start with. So having him in that role will probably help Casey in a way. Obviously, he's not the one that signs everything off, but Casey's got an ally there. But yeah, okay. The issue is obviously trying to bring in people from. If we bring in people from abroad, the problem will be getting them the visa, because if the issue we have with women's football is only senior minutes at international level count. There's no under 21 requirement. If we try to bring in Honor now or Ivana now, yeah, I don't think either of them would qualify for a work permit.
I think certainly Casey said that Ivana wouldn't be able to happen this summer.
Yeah.
So as a case in point.
So it's going to be tricky. And we all know that if we look at, say, the England squad as an example, 90%, well, 80% of that is Manchester City. We're not taking anybody from there. Chelsea have signed up, most of their good players for, another 2-3 seasons. There's not many outgoing coming out of Arsenal. So local talent to bring in isn't really there to bring in from, say, one of the big three clubs. So it's going to be a tough one, and I'll say this now. I think LJ will be going to Chelsea. I can understand why. I don't think it's a football thing. I think it's more of a family thing, because she is. So I don't think she's going to play, if I'm honest, when she gets down there. But I can understand why she wants to go. Tobin and Kristen, I would think, will probably go back to the US and be ready for the NWSL season starting in 2022. So how do you replace three of those types of players? I can't see where in the market Casey can go at the moment. I'll be brutally honest. It's really, really difficult for her. So I think it's going to be a tough summer, but I'm looking forward to being proved wrong.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to being proved wrong. The comment's gone up the screen. Mark said that Lucy Staniforth's been impressive last few games. Fiona also says what will help Casey in terms of in the market is how Tobin and other players have spoken about her very publicly. Absolutely. Namrata thinks that even if we'd have got Champions League, we probably wouldn't have brought more than 1 or 2 big name signings in. So doubts that affects our transfer plans. Maybe. Here's a name for you. Beth England, striker at Chelsea. I'd say yes if she's available. Zoe?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to sign her last year. I was hoping that she might have made that move. I really rate her and have done for a while. And when Neville was at England, I wanted her to play more than what she did. I wanted her to start over some of the more senior players. I think she's that kind of player that can give us a performance as well as points. So I definitely say yes.
I would say though, if we could get someone like Beth England in, it's going to cost a lot of money because she only signed a new contract last summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark,
yes,
reminisce.
You
Sorry,
have LJ. You can have LJ. We'll take Beth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can anyone here? Alan Hansen, can't win anything with kids. Look what happened after that. Yeah, we remember it. Well, some of us are old enough to remember it. But I'm not sure we've got the quality currently in the squad. But then Mark does say, and this is again the point about Beth England, a physical striker is something we need. It's that striker in the mode of Jess, someone that's going to run, someone that's going to give you that energy. And as a fan, you want to see that, but more clinical. John Fry says, as you've all said, let's swap LJ. But Fiona makes the point, as you've again said, Ian, 3 years left on her contract.
But then LJ only signed a new contract last summer.
Correct. And isn't there a rumour that if she goes to Lyon, because that's one of the destinations, if she goes to Lyon, it will be for a huge fee. I don't think we're talking harder style 300,000, but
it's about 150k, I think I heard.
Which in the women's game is huge. Karen is saying what we all want. Still hoping Press and Heath stay for at least half a season next year. Do you know what? I'd settle for one game. Sign them for one home game. Just so we can all be there for one game. Fiona's doing Shane's job. 6 goals, 8 assists in 903 minutes this season before this evening. Not as prolific as I thought, actually. Karen then comes on to a point. How long does Jackie have on a contract? Do we have to worry about her too? Yes.
She expires. Yeah, she's expiring this summer.
Yes. Now, some say she's got another year. Some say it's up this year. Sang will be along soon.
So it depends if there is that option that we like to put on, but we only started hearing it last summer about these option years. It wasn't
for the women.
Yeah.
The men's contracts, no male player signs a contract at United without there being an option for a further year. I'd shackle Jackie and keep her for life, kind of thing. Okay, Namrata, LJ leaving us could be our Coutinho moment, like Liverpool. The club love an option. And then Vincent taps into what Mark said before. We might have to promote from the unders, from the development squad. We might. And if that happens, and bear in mind next year, I'm assuming there might be a slight relaxation in terms of the bubbles, because obviously we've had Tara Bourne and Carrie Jones who've been training with the first team. We've not had players going back and forth like we did have at times last year. Rebecca May was in and out. So if they were in the first team bubble, they stayed in the first team bubble. Basically, nobody else could come in. But if there is that little bit more freedom and we do promote, we could see the name Solskjaer on a women's team at some stage in the future. But yeah, there's always that possibility. There is some quality in the devs. Maybe. I think we'd all like to think that we're going to bring in the signings first. Namrata, I'm just going to pick up on this. Namrata says, I've gone back to it, LJ leaving us could be our Coutinho moment, like Liverpool, who obviously, after he left, then went on to I think they did something. I'm not sure last season. Anyway, this season, LJ's been pretty injured. How much have we actually missed her? Or have we missed other people more? Zoe?
We've definitely missed other people more. I mean, LJ's always been one of my favourite players because she's such a creative player. She's, you know, she does amaze me. That, you know, the way she can sort of dance around players, and you know, she can strike, and she's, you know, she's got the confidence, which I don't think all of our strikers do have the confidence. You know, I think they go through patches where, you know, they don't believe themselves that they're going to score, so you don't really believe that they're going to score either. But LJ, to me, is a confident player, and she's very, very talented. And so, yeah, I thought we were going to miss her more than we did, really. I think at the start of the season she was injured, and, you know, we had Heath and we had Russo, and we were fine and we were doing really well. So when they got injured, I think it was very easy to think if Russo was in the team, we'd win, or if yeah, that's very true.
We got the top of the league at Christmas without LJ. Absolutely. Yeah. John Neville. Sorry to cut across you there, Zoe, but these are the points. LJ's hardly played this season. Fiona missed others more. For her, LJ doesn't suit our style. I get the worry if LJ goes, but in the context of this season, but I'm just going to stop you. I'll come back to you in a minute, Zoe. I said, hands in. I'm going to say it now, Sang. If it's a choice between Chelsea winning the league or City winning the league, marginally, I'm going to hope for Chelsea. So congratulations on your win tonight. Just a few more comments about LJ. Actually, this is going well. Missed Heath and Leah Moore. Absolutely, more than LJ. We missed Kirsty Smith when she's been out too. Mark, Kirsty Smith's been mentioned. Namrata, use the LJ money to get 2 world-class players, a striker and a defender, and will immediately improve. Do you know what? Yes, definitely. LJ's good and talented, but what is her position, and does she fit the style of play entirely? This is what Fiona said. Was watching the lady. Yes, well, interesting stat in terms of Spuds. Abby Mack, since her move to Spurs, has been an ever-present in the league for Spurs. Ian, how many wins has Abby Mack experienced as a Spurs player?
None.
Correct. John Fry, we've definitely missed Russo's goals. We've just missed anybody's goals. Yep. No, sorry, hang on. Stafford Teller's fee might be happy. More signs are safe. Yeah, LJ's driving's not the best. John Neville, Kirsty Smith's in the 50 club. Congratulations to her, actually. I think we'd all agree, jokes apart, she has improved and stepped up at times this year. Sang, you'll be looking forward to seeing LJ play for you. LJ has so much potential, just a bit of maturity needed. Remember, she is young. Yes, but she's also a luxury player, I think. A luxury player who maybe we just can't afford to have right now. Vincent asks, how much is LJ worth? Depends who's willing to pay for her, I suppose. Fiona says, with the money, from LJ, a world-class player with leadership experience. You know, that's something we've really, really missed. I think we need a player. We need a leader on the pitch. Namrat, we did discuss the fee. Rumours are saying it could be a world record transfer fee, so it has to be more than the 300,000 for Harder. So we're talking massive, massive money within the women's game. My only hope is that if that is the case, Casey gets the chance to use all of it. And Sang says we need an old school number 9. Yeah. Sang?
That's the question I was going to ask, yeah.
Actually, no. I think we're underselling ourselves here. I'll tell you what, Sam. I'm saying no chance, because if LJ is going to get 300,000 on the open market, I want more than Beth England.
We'll take Sam Kerr. She scored 20 this season now.
Do you know that, Jake? You're not here, but if Jake
she can finally score a goal, she cannot score against us, but she can finally score.
Who's the top scorer for Spurs at the moment? Any guesses this season?
Alana Kennedy? No, don't know then.
Jake's favourite, still.
Oh God!
Sure, I heard that on the commentary. Sang's not budging. I tell you what, Sang, I'm not budging either. I want more than Beth England for LJ. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, some great comments coming in tonight. I don't want to ignore them. Right back. I think we recognise the areas that we need to strengthen in. And I know that this is probably going to be the conversation that dominates way into the off-season. And I think this has also been a really nice way of us to ignore the fact that we played so poorly on Sunday that we've almost ignored that match. Regardless of the performance on Sunday, we won. We are, as we said, we're guaranteed fourth place. We play Everton on Sunday, and yeah, apparently Namrata, yeah, not against. Oh yeah, they did score against us, didn't they? Yeah, basically the deflection took it over.
Deflection on the free kick, yeah.
Yeah, it's not any great skill or anything. You guys should keep LJ for all her faults. She has potential. I don't think it's up to us now. No. I get the impression we're talking about a situation a bit like with Lotta, whereby Lotta was homesick. And obviously because she couldn't fly back and forth and because her family couldn't visit her, and I think her boyfriend had gone back to Sweden, she asked to leave. I think we've got a similar situation here. If you've got an unhappy player, don't keep them. That's my theory.
Casey's always been one for, if you're not happy and you need to go and you want, she's always been the person. She's always saying that I need to see the person before the player. So she's always been one. If LJ is homesick and she wants to go home, she wants to go back to London, then Casey will make that happen for her. Casey's not someone to keep a player, because if we keep an LJ, she will then get unhappy. She then won't perform. So yeah, Casey's always going to be one that looks after the person first. So if LJ's unhappy and she wants to go home, then Casey will let her.
Fiona gives us the breakdown of the Spurs goals this year. Lego Head, as we all know. For anybody who doesn't know, Lego Head is Ashley Neville. Next time you ever get the chance to watch a play, yeah. The Queen, Alex Morgan, Siri Worm and Angela Addison have all got 2 goals in the league. They're the leading scorers for Spurs. So Ashley Neville is known as Lego Head and is also known as Bronze Light. And Namrata, she has scored, but also I think she's been booked a lot more. She should have been sent off at least once this season. So yeah, Sang appreciates the mentioning of Lego Head. John Fry's coming in with a score prediction. We ready? We're going for 3rd place. We're going to win 20. We've got to score 28 goal. We've got to get a 28 goal swing. I think it's happening. John Fry, we're going to win by 28 clear goals on Sunday.
Everton will find a way to get the game postponed.
Yeah, probably. Mark, ultimately, if LJ goes to Chelsea, is she going to be a starter? Much as you said, Ian, in his opinion, she'll be sat on the bench because who is going to make way for her? Absolutely.
That's the Chelsea squad.
300,000 can buy all of the Blues players for that. Make an indentation. Certainly, Sang, there's no way she would start. Kirby, Kerr, England, harder than LJ. Erin Cuthbert, I'll have her. I know Nat's got a soft spot for her. The young players who've done well for Chelsea and Neve Charles and Jess Carter, players who cover every blade of grass. Can LJ do that? I'm reminded of something I was watching. There's This is a new name, LJ Benchwarmer. There was Wayne Rooney was talking about when he played with Cristiano Ronaldo, and Gary Neville said to him, "Did you ever feel annoyed that you were having to cover and he was just doing his thing?" And he said, "No, because we understood he was that kind of player. We all put the graft in so he could do his thing, because at the time Ronaldo was close to, or if not the best player in the world, so they didn't mind doing that." I can't see any of that Chelsea team thinking, "Yeah, we'll put a shift in just so that LJ can stand there and maybe she'll just do something." And she's going to have to work at it. And don't get me wrong, some of the best moments we've had in the 3 seasons of our existence have been because of LJ. That goal she scored at Chelsea this season, incredible, absolutely brilliant. But for every one of those, there's how many times we've all shouted her name in frustration. Sang, who's seen far more of Chelsea play than I have, says, watch how much covering, how much work Sam Kerr and Frank Kirby do. Our style does not allow for non-workers. Yeah, absolutely. Fiona makes the point. This is actually really good. I think Casey plays LJ as a striker, so she doesn't have to cover defensively. Maybe. Yeah. Imagine if LJ had Cuthbert's work rate. I think as a fan, Zoe, I don't know if you agree with me on this. As a fan, I love to watch a player put a shift in. I absolutely love those players who have the skill, have the talent. Yeah, absolutely. Let's not forget that first goal in the Super League last year for us against Liverpool. Incredible. I love watching players who've got skill, but more than that as a fan, especially when I'm at a game, I love watching a player put a shift in. And I love watching a player play with their heart. That's from what gets me as a fan. I don't get that with LJ. Would you rather have the kind of player I've described, or would you rather have the mercurial talent of someone like LJ?
Oh, it's tough. It's a tough one because I'm with you. You know, and I think that's what was lacking on Sunday. You know, we've been in the ground before when we've lost, but you can see the work rate of our players and how much effort they've put in, and how much it means to them to wear the shirt and to be playing, and how much that loss has hurt them because they, you know, because they didn't get the win. And I like to see that, and you know, it gives me comfort when we've lost that at least they put it all on the line for that game, you know. And so yeah, and I love players like that. That's what I want. I want all our players to do that. At the same time, I still get excited when LJ's on the ball, because I just have confidence. And I don't know whether, you know, while she was talking then, it got me thinking, is it just because LJ's been there in those moments, those memorable moments? You know, like she got the goal at Old Trafford, for example. You know, that was a memorable moment for the team, for us. Even though we weren't there, it was still a game that's going to go down in our history. And it was LJ that was there. So she's not there in every game, and she's not there in the, you know, I don't know, the odd games against Bristol or whatever that we just want a result kind of thing. But so maybe that's why I like LJ so much, because she's just been there in those moments. But yeah, I do. I get excited when she's on the ball because I just believe that she can do something with it. Whereas some of the others, yeah, they work hard, and I love them for working hard, but I just don't have that confidence that they can finish in those moments, I guess. But yeah.
We're not able to step away from LJ. Never mind Everton. Never mind. We're all expecting it to get postponed anyway. Fiona says the move to Chelsea is not about football; it's about family. Who else in or near London would take her? She's burnt her bridges, we presume, at Arsenal. Spurs is to step up. Chelsea is the only move. Now, Sean makes a really great point. Surely if you pay a world record fee for a player, you start them. Can't deny that. John Fry, it's taken you 39 minutes. Got Amy T mentioned. Absolutely. Talking about attitude, talking about the way they play, that's why we all love to see somebody like Amy T, heart and soul out on the pitch. Sang, surely Coach Stoney can reach LJ. I remember when she signed for us, there were comments about her attitude had been questioned at Arsenal. I'm not saying it's her attitude here, but maybe there's a different mentality issue. Let's not ignore what she can do. She can score a goal out of nothing. Fiona's absolutely right. Probably only one or two others that can do that, but she would have more if she passed or worked as hard as others. Yeah, absolutely, can't deny that. John Fry says, points out to Sang, she wants to be near her dad and her brother, so can understand her homesickness. If she wants to go, nothing Casey can do. Absolutely. You need a team before you add LJ into the question. Unfortunately, United are not there yet. This is a really good point as well. Too many positions are still iffy. Yep, can't deny that. Namrata, I still want LJ to stay, but if she leaves, good luck to her. Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Zoe, she's given us some great moments and just rattling some of them off there. Sang, yeah, if that's the case, there's nothing for it. The fee for LJ is more about her potential rather than what she can do now. That's another good point. We're talking about what we think she can go on to do. Because, as Namrata says, if she fulfills her potential, definite future Ballon d'Or winner there. Would you agree, Ian?
I remember when the team was announced. You know that day back in, was it June of 2000?
June the 8th. June the 8th. It's a date out, not because I'm one of those, but I know June the 8th was the date it was in, whether that was the team date. But yeah, back in June.
I remember, I think it was Rich Lafferty said that she has the possibility of becoming the best footballer this country's ever seen for a woman.
Now, this is interesting because I have a memory, Mark, bear me out on this one. Before the Reading game, the first game at home, I was on the tour actually at United. I was with my niece and nephew, neither of whom are in this evening. No sweets next time you sit in my garden. And there was a lady that was there in the tour working for the club. And we said that we were looking forward to going to the game that weekend. And she said that she was responsible for driving 3 players to games because they were too young. They weren't driving yet. They weren't in clubhouses. One of them was LJ. And I didn't know about LJ at the time. And she said, I think she could be one of the best players in the world when she's older. And I just thought, yeah, all right, you've seen her kick a ball a few times. Very quickly, I got it. I really understood it. So people know what she's capable of. People have seen it. The big issue for me is there. It's between the ears. LJ will come back someday. I can see it. Maybe the all-conquering hero. We'll take that, won't we?
One for buyback clause. Not a bad one, is it? You want
Sorry?
Buyback clause.
Yeah, but come on, it's United. So if it's a buyback, it's anything like the Pogba deal, we'll sell her for 300,000 and buy her for 4 million.
True.
I don't know. I'm trying to get on. Ian, anything you want to say about the Everton game this weekend? Anything you want to say about the league being wrapped up? I know we've still got a cup game to play after it, but yeah, Mark.
We need to, we need to put on a performance. There's, we can't, Leicester are going to be up for it in a week on Sunday. We know that, they've just won the championship. They've got this weekend off.
Yeah.
Remember, because they finished last weekend, so they're not playing this weekend. We need a performance. We know Casey's not one for. She's always said she always wants a performance out of her players, and she will say if she's not had it. I don't know what she said at the end of the game on Sunday, but I have a feeling she wasn't happy. So we need performance. We need 3 points. We've got a record against. Where's Shane around if he's around? We've always scored 3 against them at home or something silly like that, haven't we?
We always scored 3 against them up
So we lost to them.
Yeah,
Cup.
Because in the league. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and also in Conte, yeah.
The Conti Cup we lost them, but we've always scored 3 against them in the league at home.
John Fry can see it being 1-0 again.
Put down on it straight away then. That Everton team aren't as good as people think they are. Let's just look at Everton's results against big sides this year. Haven't been great. I think, they've drawn against a few of the lower division, lower opponents as well recently. So it's a home game. We should win it. And then that's a good launch pad into the FA Cup, into the FA Cup tie, which is again it's a cup game. It's a cup game we want to win as well. So we need to go into that on the back of a good result on Everton. So I'm optimistic that Casey will get a performance out of them because they will not want to end a season on a low. And as we said, there are players still playing possibly for contracts. So I'm hopeful. It might not be, we might not score a 3 against them, but if we're honest, that Conti Cup tie, okay, if that Conti Cup tie, we were the better side, and it was one breakaway goal that we conceded from. Otherwise, we dominated that Conti Cup game. We dominated them at Waterhill Park in the league and got a good win there as well.
Yes.
So, they're a team we know we can beat. And obviously, the Willie Kirk factor's there as well.
Exactly. John Fry picks up on that. First of all, Sang, okay, if we lose to Everton, we're going to be taunted. Mark, we need to find a way of not letting some people into this, if that's the case. No, sorry, Willie Kirk. Yep, absolutely. Just also, I know they're not on tonight, but I know it's my duty to give the niece and nephew sweets. Iain, take this on board as well for your niece, so that when they go home, they keep the parents awake all night. I'm now getting the revenge on my brother that I wanted to as a child. So absolutely.
My niece was given a Lindt chocolate bunny egg when I saw her on Sunday.
Just one?
No, it was a bunny egg. So it was, it was like this big with a couple of bunnies in it and an egg. So,
just one? Come on, Iain. Get sugar. Keep them awake.
no, trust me, that wasn't it. There was more than that. Trust me. So yes.
As long as there's just no applesauce, Iain. 3-0 or 3-1, says Sang. Namrata, last match of the league season, nothing but a big win. Oh, I hope so. Thank you, Sang, saying only 7 thumbs up. Yeah, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Fiona makes the point they won't be able to cope with Leah again. They've struggled against Leah.
Leah's had them on toast every single time we played them. They've not been able to stop Leah.
Yeah. So I'm just having a quick check through. Namrata wants to see a Leah hat-trick. Russo comes on for 5 minutes. I know Russo had a setback in her recovery, so Casey said she just wanted to slow things down. Whether we see Russo again this season, I don't yet know. Doesn't matter if it means nothing in terms of opposition. They should play for the badge. Absolutely right, because even though there's nothing to play for, it still means something to us as fans. Mark, yep, winning breeds confidence. We've won our last 3. Hopefully we can keep that run going. Yes, absolutely. And as well as teaching your niece the right things and good chocolate, no applesauce. Also, Iain, no watery gravy either. When Leah's on form, she's a joy to watch. I think in some ways, if we got a performance out of Leah Galton, I think that would almost be the pick-me-up that we as fans want to finish the season well with. We're on the wonderful FA player on Sunday. Who's the referee? Do we know who the ref is?
Yes, the referee this weekend is a new one for us. It is where is it? Louise Saunders from Kent. Okay,
I need to know what the reputation's like, what the history's like, what the poor decisions were
She's only ever been a 4th official for us. She's never refereed us.
Has she refused to give a goal by any chance, or given an offside when we weren't offside? She'll have done something.
She was praised by a couple of teams in the East and Southeast recently for her performance. That is all I can find on her. She is not very well known. She's only refereed 2 other WSL games over the last 3 seasons. She's been most of the time she's in the Championship.
Yeah, I'm now worried that I don't think she's good enough. Sang says, on the Russo front, don't think Casey should risk it, to be honest. Absolutely agree. Would rather that she
next season
as well. Karen, Leah and Russo not on for long, saving them for the cup game. Yeah. We just need to know, does she know her parts of the body? Fiona makes the point, even though we don't know anything about it, she's on the list of bad refs. Okay, every ref starts on the list. They then have to work their way off it. Very few actually ever do. Sang, we seem to have issues with these. Doesn't every team have issues with refs? Is it just United fans? Zoe, what are you hoping for on Sunday?
Well, first of all, I've been thinking whilst sorry to not drop the LJ topic, and I'm no expert on contracts, but what about if we moved her brother to United, and then her brother and father would be in Manchester, and she won't be homesick anymore? Maybe. Someone can dig into contracts for me.
Am I mistaken in the belief that United did have a youth player not too long ago called Reece James, different Reece James, and it was at a time when I think LJ's brother was at Wigan, and there was a bit of confusion. I think it was spelled Reece RHYS, but I do have this memory, this thought of we did have a Reece James that wasn't the Reece James. Do you know what, Zoe? Stranger things have happened. I think he's more. I think he's more likely to go abroad. Actually, her brother. Where does that then leave her?
That's why I don't get the Lyon thing, because I can't see her going to Lyon.
But I remember an interview with LJ really early on, when probably in our first season, when asked what her goals for her career were, she said, having seen what her brother was doing, she wanted, I mean, this is materialistic at best, she wanted to earn a lot of money. And I remember thinking, you're not going to do that in this country. You're going to have to go abroad.
Got to pay those parking fines somehow.
Got to pay the, but also, Misha's got to get another language. Right. Fiona. Oh, God, I'm way out. 2013, 2015, we had a left back called Reece James, not spelt the way I said it was, now plays for Donny Rovers. LJ's contract runs till 2025. Zoe, I get you thinking, but
the dream's over.
Yeah, I don't think the lure of Dino golf at the Trafford Centre on a Thursday is on the day off is enough to keep LJ in Manchester. And interestingly, I think we've said this, she's never really seemed to be in any of the clubhouses. She's always seemed to be on her own, whether that's been an issue as well. Do you expect to see LJ play for us again this season? Zoe?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? As a farewell, I guess. But I don't know really. It depends on injuries, doesn't it? Really. But no, I think it'd be nice to see her either on Sunday or in the FA Cup game. But I mean, going back to your question about what I expect on Sunday, yeah, I just want a performance. I just want to end on a high. Do I expect a lot? I mean, to me, Everton's our closest rivals because I feel like we have that same rivalry that we do in the men's game with, say, City or whatever. Not to do with obviously proximity, but because of that whole Willie Kirk connection, and because like last year they were like our closest team. You know, we were in a battle with them for fourth all season. So to me, I just really want to beat them and yeah, to end on a high and get that performance. And like you say, if Leah's playing, if she's on, she always causes them problems. So it'd be nice to see a great performance out of Leah.
I apologise now for anybody who may be in our watch along for the amount of times I abused Jill Scott for elbowing people. Will LJ play for us again? John Fry says no. Fiona says maybe we'll get a farewell tour on the bike. She was on it for enough matches. If she's going to leave, no. We need to get rid of sentiment, start building for next season now, not the end of the season. Absolutely, I think we'd all agree. Fiona, in terms of Everton, we've played them so many times as well. Oh, how long have we got? Not enough time. Question from a non-United ladies fan. What's the drama between you lot and Mr. Kirk? Well, the simple fact is this. When the team started, Willie Kirk was Casey's number 2. Then Willie Kirk decided to leave and take the job at Everton. Apparently, that didn't go down very well. Ever since, Everton have basically employed dirty tricks to get games against us postponed, not played, or various other things. And we just don't really like them and trust them. Have I missed anything out there, Ian?
No.
No, that's it. Yeah. If LJ wants to make money, she has to get over being homesick. Do you know what? Great point. Great point. Yeah. Karen, if she wants to make money, maybe you'll be watching her more. Maybe she'll end up over in the States. I don't know. I
don't think we'll see LJ again this season. She didn't even make the bench on Sunday. So if she's not even fit for the bench, then I don't think we'll see her on Sunday or against Leicester.
There's a nice Blair Witch quality about your picture at the moment here, and every now and again it just goes a bit sepia. And I just think I need to stick 50p in the meter. That was comprehensive and scary. That was the clean version when it comes to Willie Kirk.
So someone's what we heard from players.
Good news! Namrata says, according to Jackie's agent, her contract is until June of next year. Hurrah! We've got a whole another season to watch her not score.
This is where she will score on Sunday now.
Oh, honestly, maybe that's what she's waiting for. You see, Fiona's got it. Great news. We needed to hear that. We needed to hear that Jackie's staying with. I know I say it in our watch-alongs, but Jackie's goal for us, she will score for us, but she will know nothing about it.
It'll be off the backside.
Sang didn't realise it was so deep-rooted. The thing is, from our perspective, coaches leave. It's the fact that we're told that something happened that wasn't very... It left the players quite unhappy. Jackie stays. Fiona says she's saving her goal for when she celebrates a new contract. She's saving the goal for when we're all in there. And actually, at this point in the season, that's kind of where, in terms of Willie Kirk, burn bridges, that's kind of where my head goes now. We know some of these players are going to be moving on, but actually the new season gives us all an opportunity to hopefully get back into grounds if we can do, if we're able to, if we're local to some grounds. Ian, I know we've talked about this on the socials at times. You ready to get back in?
Yeah, I am. There are a few things which have been stopping me, which obviously, my mother's medical issues that she has. So I've been trying to. You've just read the same comment as I have, haven't you?
There's two of them, and we're running out of time. Go on, Ian. I'll let you finish.
No. I was going to say by September, I will be. If I'm not working or I can get the day off work, I will be at Lee or wherever we are opening game of the season. I will be there. If we have a chance to be at a game before then, pre-season, which is unlikely because we know most of the pre-season games play behind closed doors. I will be there. I can't wait to get back and support the girls. They've had a whole season with no support. That for them must be really, really odd. So I'm really looking forward to getting back. Not being on a train up to Manchester for last train I took was back from that Everton game from Liverpool, and I thought, good riddance, I'm out of this place. But I was looking forward to coming up for the Chelsea. Was it Chelsea? Yeah, it was Chelsea game, wasn't it? They got called off with the win.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
you know, I've not seen you as a person since that game in February of 2020. So,
Miss me, Ian.
yeah, I just want to get back now. As soon as we can get back in the stadium, I will be there, because I would have had at least a first jab by then. So,
okay, Zoe, I'm gonna ask you the same question, but there's some comments, and we're over time, but I can't miss these. Namrata says Jackie's waiting for Liverpool to get promoted to score a first goal. She might be waiting a very long time.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate, who did you more wrong, Willie Kirk or Alex Greenwood? That's a great question. Both.
That's a 60-minute question on its own.
That is, and this is the thing. There's a couple of questions here. There's a great question, Mark. This is for you. Next week, what areas do you guys feel you need to improve for next season? That in itself is a podcast. Mark, there's your starter for next week. In terms of, are you ready? Mark says, just let me in. According to John Fry, he says Willie Kirk for him. Namrata, where do we need to improve next season? The medical department. Absolutely brilliant. Vincent's expecting some green and gold scarves at the women's game. May well be. Oh, Mark picked up on that as well, the treatment room. Zoe, you looking forward to it? You ready to get back in?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to just be one big party to see you all again, and to support our girls. And you've done a brilliant job of making sure that they've had the support through the flags and stuff. And when you see it on telly, I'm sorry to any other fans that are out there, but you can see that United are the most well supported, and that's thanks to you guys that are running the Barmy Army. So yeah, and I have to give a question to Ian as he put his order in for applesauce at the stadium.
It's banned. It's banned because they cannot guarantee that anybody would even care for it. I don't. So the FA Cup game might have fans allowed. No, it's the 16th, unfortunately. The women's season will finish just the day before. Men, there will be one home and one away game. The Fulham game for the men is going to be at home. Please, ticket office, let me and Mark in, please. John says he won't be here next week. He'll miss the podcast. John, we'll miss you. We'll mention Amy Turner a few times, so you're still with us in spirit. Sending thoughts for next week. Yeah, look after yourself. Keep well. Karen, whoa. It'll be first time season ticket holder. Brilliant. Can't wait to see you all support the girls. Karen, don't be a stranger. Come and find us all. Come and see us all. Mark says no vuvuzelas allowed. Absolutely. Yeah, here you go, Zoe. United don't sell things that don't make a profit. Applesauce will make a loss. Who'd want that? Zoe, just a quick point you made, and I know I'm going way over here. The flags, there's 2 more games. I know Mark and I going on Friday. I think Friday's put the flags up for the Everton game. The plan will be to do the same the following week for the Leicester game. And I think now we could get to a point where we can recognise just how important it's been. Ian, I know your match reports have been really well received. So we've tried during this season, and I know we've really appreciated everybody who's been part of the podcast, either as a guest or as a contributor, everyone who's watched it. We're getting there. Bear in mind, I've said this before, we started the podcast just to get us through that first lockdown. I never imagined 59 episodes later we'd still be going. But we're going. And we are going to be spending the summer, maybe not every week, we're going to be talking about new signings, where do we need to strengthen, the things that have been mentioned this evening. And maybe we'll actually have a proper physical people in a room catch up. Yeah. Oh, I could go on for another half hour at least. Zoe, Ian, thank you so much for this evening. I feel like I barely got the chance to talk to you because we've had some incredible comments. Thank you so much to everybody who's watched. Thank you everybody who contributed. Mark's back next week. He's back on the Wednesday. We're sticking to normal because the men's games have switched now. I'm not sure who he's with, but he'll be reviewing the Everton game. Lovely. I'm taken care of. He's bringing the pizza. Karen, thank you. Hope you enjoyed hope you enjoyed. Need a flag for our number 717. All got them all, actually. Yeah, Mark's been the garlic bread as well. Sorted.
Cheesy garlic bread.
Maybe cheesy. Oh yeah, no, don't worry. He knows that, Ian. Yeah, thank you all, everybody, for watching. Really, really enjoyed this evening. Keep well, keep safe. Mark's back next week. Make sure you tune in, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.